Everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started at 9 o'clock on the dot. Welcome to March of Livable Neighborhoods monthly meeting. Thank you all that were able to attend. If you have not signed in, please go ahead and sign in over here. We have refreshments courtesy of Donnie Thomas with Kensington Neighborhood Association and Joanne Woody from the American Red Cross. So please enjoy.
Thank you for bringing those, by the way. There's plenty. Do not be bashful.
Yes, please take all of those. We're going to go ahead and get started with our personal announcements from Livable Neighborhoods.
I actually don't have too many announcements. I was not prepared for my own announcements this morning. So I'll keep sending them out as I get them to in our either our e-newsletter or specific neighborhood groups. If anything comes up, I'll be sure to send it out.
And then first up, we're going to have a presentation from John Harding. He's superintendent with the Kansas School for the Blind.
Good morning. Good morning. Nice to be here this morning. I am John Harding, Superintendent School for the Blind. Good to see some familiar faces. Thank you for your leadership and thank you for having me today. I have a shout out to Kayla for orchestrating this, and then Carol Newton. Is Carol in the audience? Or,
She couldn't make it today, but we're recording it for her. Yeah.
Carol is a member of Strugglers Hill Neighborhood Group, and they meet at our school, and I consider her a friend, and she was the one who's been saying, hey, come to the group and present again. So glad to be here. School for the Blind, 1100 State Avenue. Been here 156 years, older than the city itself. And proud to be here at KCK. I see changes almost every day. I ride my bike usually to work, and I see a lot of progress, and the buildings are going down around 7th in Minnesota. I know KCK, someone from the community college is here, so excited to see some of those changes. But and we're proud to be part of this community. We are a state-funded agency, so we serve kids across the entire state. You can go ahead and click. Oh, I'm clicking. Sorry. So maybe. Yeah. So once a year we get together, like most schools. We are accredited by State Board of Education, so they oversee our school and School for the Deaf in Olathe. And we follow the same procedures, same requirements for accreditation as all 286 public schools in Kansas. But we're funded by the legislature, so every year we go down and share really what we're doing with legislators because they want to know how we're serving their constituents across the state. These are our staff that serve kids. Most of the teachers we have now live off campus. So years ago, all the kids would come to our school. And now we serve the vast majority of those kids in their home schools and home communities. So they're able to stay where they're at. But we have a lot of special programs. We're a small school, but a big reach, I guess, is the way to say that. So our vision is, it's too small to read, but our vision is right help, right time, right location. We've really taken that to heart. So we provide what's needed, when it's needed, where it's needed. And that's why, how we've been able to stay relevant all these years. I get asked a lot, how do you balance keeping a campus, a vibrant campus, with providing services to kids across the state? It's a real challenge for a small agency to do that. But I think we've carved a path. And I was talking to Commissioner Watson, who's my boss, and I said, I think we're punching above our weight. We're doing things that are very unique, and we're getting questions from really all over the world. I was in Japan in February, and they're asking the same question because their schools, 67 of them, are going through this change that we went through probably 30 years ago with inclusion and mainstreaming. And I'm a supporter of inclusion and mainstreaming, but we still need a school where as needed as ever because kids need a pit stop. They need to come in and change their tires and get maybe a tune-up. So they can work on Braille and technology. They can work on their social skills and independent living skills and career and voc skills. So we provide that home base for them, and couldn't be prouder to be in Kansas City. People say, well, it'd be nice if you were in Salina. Well, we'd be a little bit maybe more convenient for folks, but the fact that we're here in a vibrant community, a metro area, we love it because the whole city is sort of our campus. So we serve 50 kids on our campus. About half of those kids are residential students, so they stay in our dormitory. We serve over 800 kids every year in one way or another who are blind or visually impaired, significant enough that it impacts their education. So not all of our kids are totally blind, but when you come to our campus, you'll see a lot of canes, white canes being used. You'll see a lot of Braille being used, a lot of technology, special technology being used, because our kids need not only academic skills, they need life skills. They need life skills. So that's really important. And a lot of times we'll have students show up and, well, I have a 3.8 grade point average and I'm meeting my IEP goals, but they're not ready for life. They're not able to do shopping independently. They're not able to do their budget. They're not able to have good social skills. They can't make their own meals sometimes because they haven't been given access. So we really advocate for that and do a lot of work to promote that. There are 286 school districts. Last year, we provided service to over 100 of those school districts. So we've been, touch again the entire state, not just kids in this area. Our goal is to, empower families. Information is power, right? You all know this. And so we always are out there informing parents. What are best practices? What skills should my child have at this age? Who do I reach out to when I need help? We can't do it alone. Everything we do is in partnership. But we want families to be informed and make the right choice for them. We want our kids to have access. They can do anything if they're given access and opportunity. But many times that access is denied. There was a story in the Wichita Eagle, and Star picked it up about someone who was blind, who wasn't able to get a state ID card because the app was not accessible to them. They have to take their paperwork down to an office, speak to somebody, explain why the app isn't accessible. These things happen all the time, really. It just so happens that someone wrote a letter and got picked up. So we need to advocate for our kids and teach our kids to advocate for themselves. We want to innovate. We take a lot of risks. Not everything we do works, right? But that's okay. We tell our kids you have to take risks in life. We have to do the same thing. So we innovate, do a lot of programs that I think are unique. And then we want to engage our communities and have people come to our campus. I invite this group to come meet on our campus at some point to see what we do. We're on a hill. People tell me all the time, I've been by there 50 times, but I've never been up here. So we balance safety with being welcome. We want people in this community. If you pay taxes, that's your campus too. We want you to come up and see what we're doing. So we really try hard to talk about our kids. It's academics and functional skills. And so we're working really hard. We're purchasing new curriculum. Structured literacy is a big thing for all schools. Teaching kids to read, teaching kids to do math is still important for us. You have to be able to do the basics to move on. And so we're investing over $15,000 in new curriculum, training for our teachers to get really serious about that aspect of it, because we want to do meaningful, interesting things. And it's about social skills and independent living and career readiness. But it's also about literacy and numeracy. So we take that serious too. And we're always working on that. Again, we're accredited by the State Board of Education and then we'll do that every single year. They come out and visit us and we talk about the things that we're doing and let our kids tell that story, really. So our field service is what we call one of our outreach teams, serves children 3 to 21. These are the folks that almost exclusively live off our campus. They live in Wichita. They might live in a little town called La Crosse. They might live in Pittsburgh, but they're serving kids in those communities. And here are some of them. They are highly skilled. Most of them have master's degrees. They're teachers of the visually impaired. They have content certification, and often they have other skills. And they're either what we call TSBIs, so they can teach Braille skills, or they are COMS, which is Certified Orientation Mobility Specialists. They're teaching white cane skills or mobility skills. So kids need to be able to move about their communities safely if they're going to be integrated, if they're going to be contributing. And there's a real shortage of these teachers, and we're proud to have them. So we break the state up into different sections, different regions, and then have people serve those regions. You kind of get a sense of how we do that. Last year, we started a brand new program for infants and toddlers, birth to 3 across the state. We're already serving 170 plus infants and toddlers who are blind or low vision. Powerful stuff, because that's where it starts. If you get in the homes early, you inform the parents, you talk about what children can do. Chester, I didn't see you. Good morning. You talk about what kids can do and how to arrange their environment and the skills that they're going to need when they move into kindergarten or their preschool. It's powerful. So we're really thrilled to add that component to our work. And here are some of the staff who are serving those children. And they break the state up just like we do on our field service side. So they're serving infant toddler programs. Again, we don't do anything alone. We work in partnership. There are, I believe, 29 infant toddler programs across the state serving children birth to 3. And then we work alongside them if a child has a vision loss. Many times they don't know that until we do an assessment. And we say, yeah, that child has maybe a cerebral vision impairment that needs to be addressed. So we work alongside them, inform them. We work with doctors, optometrists, ophthalmologists. And again, our goal is to educate, inform, and to build skills. And so we visit a lot of programs and talk about blindness and what students can do. We do a lot of trainings for local districts. There's one of our staff, Pam, presenting to 125 teachers to say, when you have a child who's blind in your classroom, here are some things you can do to help them. Okay, it just takes really a few attitudinal adjustments and some opportunities, maybe some equipment that you can use to help children succeed in your classroom. So we do a lot of awareness. We have a vision symposium. It's grown. Last year we had, I think, 150 teachers show up, mostly vision teachers, but administrators, paraprofessionals, learning about vision and what that means for children. So it's grown. We've had to move it from Salina to Wichita, and we're proud to host that because they're not getting this kind of professional development typically in their school district. One of our partnerships is Make 48. One of the risks we take is doing something unconventional. So it's an inventors competition for 2 days, and Make 48 sponsors this. They bring in businesses, teams of usually 6 people compete, and they design a prototype that is then presented. And the winners go on. They have a TV show on This Old House Makerspace channel. And we were the first school for the blind to compete in that competition. Our kids, again, were demonstrating that they can compete against non-disabled peers, many times college-age students, and they're ideating, they're thinking, they're designing, they're prototyping, they're doing high-level skills, but they might be using Braille, or they might be using large print, right? They're not running drills and hammers and saws because the experts come in and do that for them, but they design it, they again prototype, iterate, and then present. So they're building all these wonderful skills that they're going to need later in life. And so we've done that 3 different times. And this year we're hosting 6 schools for the blind, just a couple of weeks. April 11th, they'll be coming in from California, New Mexico, and Texas, and Indiana, and Maryland. They'll be competing, and our kids will kind of be mentoring. So they're in leadership roles now. But it's a powerful partnership and a wonderful one. We do lots of presentations. This was a presentation we did to the School Board Association in Wichita. We have our kids do the presenting. It's much more powerful when they do it than when I do it or one of our teachers. Miss Lydia Moreno on the left is our Makerspace coordinator and mobile STEM coordinator. We send this out all the time. Yesterday we were in Piper schools, and Mr. Christian is a former student who's now a teacher for us. And he's demonstrating, I think, it looks like a Braille display that he might use as we would use Google or our phones. So again, really powerful. And most of the time when we're doing this, we don't have a lot of kids who are blind. There might be 1 or 2 in that audience, but we're teaching kids who are young what it means. When you see a white cane, what does that mean? What does that do for a person, right? What would it be like if you were blindfolded and you wanted to use a cane? How would you move about space? Powerful instruction that leads to awareness and understanding, and not sympathy, but I think some empathy, right? To say, you know, I know what this is now. I'm not fearful of it. I can introduce myself to someone who's blind. Blind sports is a big thing. We've now started a mobile sports venture. I invite you to come out April 5th at 2 p.m. on our campus. In the middle of our track, we've put in a blind soccer pitch. Victory Project, which is an arm of Sporting KC, gave us about $33,000 to purchase side balls and goals. And we're trying to get grass to grow here in the spring. It's been a little bit tough. The Blind Spot is a nonprofit that was started by a parent of a child who's blind. They've sponsored our mobile sports venture. So we take this sort of formula where we have something on campus, bring kids in, bring families in, bring teachers in, but then take it on the road. That's been a secret sauce for us. Very, very popular. Yesterday, we were in Dodge City doing a workshop for teachers to say, how do you get your kids who are blind off the bleachers into the activity? And they eat it up. It's one of the most popular things that we do. But we'll have some Sporting KC players out on April 5th. We'll have kids doing a little demo of blind soccer. We'll have our sponsors. We built a whole new track with private dollars. over $350,000 were really donated to us for a brand new track, and then a blind soccer pitch. So we're going to celebrate and do a little ribbon cutting. We'll have the scissors and blue ribbon, but we invite people to come out for that, and you to come out. It's open to anybody. We'd love to have you help us celebrate that for our kids, because it started. That track was really started by a gentleman named Nelson Lear, who was with the Overland Park Lions Club, and back in the mid '90s. And 30 years later, you know, it needed to be refreshed. It was cracking, and we had to get new asphalt. But it's beautiful now. A gorgeous setting. It looks over Big 11, looks over downtown KCK, and looks over KCMO. So we're proud of it and can't wait to celebrate that. Expanded Core on the Road is again one of our ventures, constantly educating, constantly pushing out there, helping kids and parents learn about access skills. So, you know, independent living skills, sensory efficiency skills, Braille, mobility, constantly teaching and offering resources, tools, and information. So we take these all over the state, and our teachers, who are much more skillful than I, are leading these workshops. We won several awards this year. The Microsoft TEALS Award, we partnered with Microsoft to offer the first really accessible computer science class in this state. And we offered to kids all over the country, but we prioritized Kansas. So kids are learning to do computer science skills, you know, and Microsoft volunteers teach this class. We have a teacher alongside the volunteers giving credit for that class, but it's really a wonderful opportunity because all schools now have to offer computer science, and we want our kids to be part of that. We want them to be in rigorous academic content. So we won the Founders Award. Kevin Wang started Microsoft TEALS. They do this all over the country with all typical schools. First school for the blind to do it, Kansas, right here. So we're very proud of that, and they gave us an award last year. We have a deaf-blind project. We also serve kids who have vision loss and hearing loss together. Katie Kirchhoff is a teacher who joined us last year and is doing a great job. She serves about 170 students across the state who are deaf-blind. I spent 14 years in deaf-blindness, so I'm very proud of that program. This morning, I got some coffee at our Braille Bean. We have a little coffee business downtown. We're not going to take Roastery or Parisi out of business, but our kids roast our own beans. And this is one of the intersections of my personal interests. I love coffee, but I thought, why don't we do something meaningful, interesting for students, right? Get them out of the classroom, work on social skills, work on job skills. So they're roasting beans, they package beans, they market beans, they sell beans, they run the little coffee shop. We have an espresso machine that serves coffee Mondays and Thursdays. Then we have a coffee cart as well. So every morning they're running the coffee cart around and selling snacks to teachers. So Alex is one of our stars, and he's packaging some coffee here. We sell that online. We won an award at Project Search. Our kids are working every day, Monday through Thursday, at the North Kansas City YMCA. And they were honored this year, Volunteers Spirit of Giving Award, for the work that they do in planting. They run a lot of the greenhouse operation, and now they've taken over the food pantry. So they're helping organize, hand out food, moving things around, and we're proud of that program. This leads to employment. 80% of kids who have a job before they leave school are likely to have a job when they leave school. So we got to get them working. We have to get them to understand that, you know, working is hard, right? It takes effort. You have to have focus. You got to be on your game the whole time. But so they're learning really important skills. Our big fundraiser, we've been so blessed to have a nonprofit called the KC Blind All-Stars. These are businesses, volunteers from the Kansas City community who support our school and give us extras. They were instrumental in the track. They helped us build a new playground. We're going to get a new gym next year. They raised over $200,000 for that. This walk, it was just, 5 people walking around our track just 6 years ago. Now it's become a major fundraiser and a focus for us. It brings people to downtown Kansas City, Kansas, and we run around the lake, and we go down through Strawberry Hill. We change the route every year, but the neighborhood is looking and saying, what are these kids doing? We're walking with canes, and we have a lot of supporters come down. And we're proud of that because we want them to come to our campus. We want them to see what we're doing. We had some food trucks and tents going on, but it's a great way. You can do it hybrid. You can walk, you can run, whatever you want to do to support our cause. We certainly welcome that. So next year will be September 28th. This is an old one. This is last year's run, but September 28th at 9 a.m. on our campus. And please come out and help us. Some of the photos from that event. And this is our new track. You can see we ride bikes on our track. A lot of kids who are blind have never ridden a bike, so it's powerful to see them riding bikes. Mr. Shearbeck is our track coach. We do compete in sports, competitive sports. We travel to Kentucky and Indiana and Missouri, and we do goalball, wrestling, track, forensic, swimming. But we're trying to really move to keep competitive sports, but also to offer just for recreation, wellness, health, lifelong fitness. So we're expanding that and building on some of the programs we do have. Our Eagle Alley on the right, some of our espresso engineers. We built a new walkway that connects our dormitory with our school on the left. And so I often say our kids deserve nice things too. I go to public schools and I see some beautiful facilities. We have a building from the 1890s, the Carriage House, which we'd like to have your support to connect the past with the future. That's really what we do. When you honor your past, but you move to the future, people will get behind you, especially if you're using it to support kids. We have a new sensory garden. Monty Nielsen's wife, Ann, was our first outreach director. She unfortunately passed away in a car accident recently, but they gave us a lot of money. Their family gave us a lot of money to rebuild our sensory garden. So we celebrated that. Some of you were there last fall. So it's a great setting, a beautiful venue, and kind of our front porch for people to come into our space. Lydia won an award this year, again, the Unsung Hero Award from Goya Financial Services. And we use that money for kids. We buy more equipment, we send it on the road. And again, we're serving hundreds of kids that way, exposing them to blindness, low vision, and really access. It is about access and opportunity for those kids. And so I'm proud of what Lydia's done. She used to work at, I think, Kiko Productions, and she's doing so much for us. She's not even a teacher, but she runs our makerspace on campus. So we have laser engravers, and kids are making signs, and they're designing and ideating and using 3D printers and t-shirt makers and sublimation machines. And we're always looking to say, what can we get kids interested in? I often say we don't start with standards. We don't. We start with meaningful, interesting things, and then we tie it to standards. Because when you get kids interested, then it's going to lead to powerful things, and you're going to use communication, you're going to use your math and your science. So Lydia's been a blessing for us. Last year we painted one of the snow plows for the city. Didn't get much snow last year, but our kids were involved in that. And we do an annual report to tell people what we're doing. And so some of the challenges that we have, we always say, hey, we're grinding away. That life is hard, right? We have challenges. We need to better inform parents of skills and what's out there. If you're in Wamego, Kansas, or you're La Crosse, Kansas, you might not know. You might not know what's available to you. So that's our job to do that. There's a tremendous teacher shortage in the state. It impacts us too. If I had more money, a little more budget, people want to work for us. They want that. They want to come to that energy. I think I asked them, why do you want to work here? It's because they don't want to be the Lone Ranger. They want to work with people who know what they do. They want to work with passionate, driven people. And I think we've kind of set a standard for that, where people are saying, yeah, I want to be a part of that. We're limited like everybody else. We have a limited budget we're spreading around. If I could have a little more money, I would hire more teachers and serve more kids. And I'll keep making that ask because the need is there. You'll hear a lot of times parents will hear, well, we can do indirect service or consult. And I say, be very careful with that. Ask more about that. What does that mean? Sometimes I call it the potato chip diet. Kids need intensive, specialized services if they're going to move forward in their public schools. Sometimes they'll just get a drive-by service. And I say, just ask a lot of questions before you sign off on indirect services, because that may not be sufficient for your child to make progress and keep up with his or her peers. We always need to do better coordination of services. So we're constantly hearing about needs and moving people around and saying, we can partner with this organization, or you need to reach out to them. And our state assessments are not fully accessible yet. And we make that case very plainly to say, don't criticize us. Don't criticize our kids until you make that fully accessible. That's only what's right and fair. So it's a hard thing to do, but it's just like that's a state ID. Should be fully accessible before you release it. So we advocate very strongly for that and don't apologize. I'll close just by saying these are some of our upcoming events. I knew I was coming here today. April 5th, 2 p.m., our ribbon cutting for the track and soccer pitch. April 12th to 14th, we have the Inventors Competition, Make 48. Our campus, so you'll see some tents and big trailer trucks and lots of activity up there. You're welcome to come, see what it's all about. I have some cards, so you can just call me and text me and say, hey, I'd like to come out and learn more about that. We have a preschool open house that same weekend, April 12th. We're trying to expand our preschool. We have a small preschool of about 11 kids who are blind and low vision. We know this area needs more daycare. We'd like to combine it with a daycare so that typical students could interact with our students in a quality early education program. So we're moving that back into our former elementary building, hoping to expand that. My problem is not buildings. I got a building and I got, that's ready to go. I got fabulous teachers, but I do need more instructional assistants, or what you would call paraprofessionals. And I have to pay them enough that it makes it worth their time. That's really what I need. And again, I think I can find those people. I need a little bit of help through the legislature. We're waiting on that. And I need the community support. So yeah, we need this here in Wyandotte County. We need that in KCK. So we think that there's a market there. We just need a little bit of help to get over the hump. We have a blind sports day. This is May 4th on a Saturday. We invite kids who are blind to come to our campus and do go ball, run on our track. They can do some of the track and field activities, long jumping, throwing a shot, but things they may have never done before. So we invite kids from this area, even Missouri, to come over and be a part of that. We have a growing extended school year. A lot of you know it as summer school. We're so full we can't accommodate anymore. So we've now had to go out and we're doing what we call extended school on the road. We're doing it in Hutchinson. We're doing it in Hayes. We're doing it in Dodge City this summer. I think even Wichita, where we'll do shorter stints, 2-day events. Our summer school on our campus is heavy and big, and we do have a residential program. So the kids, maybe who don't get an opportunity to stay in our dorms or have never done that before, they get an opportunity to practice their cooking skills, their cleaning skills, making a bed, living alongside somebody else and learning how to do that. Those are skills they're going to need as adults. And then our run is September 28th. I think that's mostly it. I just want to thank you for the opportunity today. Very proud to be a part of this committee. Thank you for your leadership and what you do to keep this community vibrant. We want to be a part of it. We realize that we're a small part of it, but we want that school to be an anchor and a place that people are proud of and that people can utilize as part of the community. We want the right people to come in. Of course, safety is our number one thing. We've been fortunate. The KCK Police Officer Dave Mitchell is our SRO now. He's with us most of the time. And then in the evening, Captain Messick's been helping us out with security overnight because we want safety is number one. If parents are going to send their children to the school for the blind, I got to assure them it's safety. But the other side of that is welcome. Come to our campus, learn about what we do, and share what we do. We need your support too. So I'm here for questions. I think Mr. Owens might have a question.
The blind school is the best kept secret in Kansas City in Wyandotte County. He's done a tremendous job. I live right across the school from the blind school. Butler's Hill, made at the blind school. They do a tremendous job.
We're grateful to have you and your group. Again, Carol is not here today, but we love having the Lions Clubs. We love having Strugglers Hill. And again, we're hoping to get a brand new gym next year. There's opportunities to partnership for the community to come in and benefit from this. We don't have lights on our track. I don't know that the neighbors would like that, but it's a nice, safe place, a beautiful setting. And many people, because it's on a hill, have never been up there. And once they get there, they're shocked and think, I had no idea all this was here. And all the things that are going on. So we're proud. We're excited about the future. We're growing. And that hasn't always been the case. I think there's been a time in the past where maybe people were a little bit worried and we were worried about what was going to happen. I've been there 10 years, but our trajectory is moving in the right direction. And we couldn't be happier to be where we are and to see this community grow too. I'm excited about the changes I see and the opportunities. So other questions?
You have a card?
I do have cards with me. I'll leave them here at the front. Anybody that wants them. I have some actually flyers I brought with me too. Some of these events I've been talking about. I'll leave these up here at the front if anybody wants them. So our Make 48 event is here. The blind soccer and ribbon cutting. Our preschool open house is here. And this is notes for myself.
Okay.
Thank you again for the opportunity. If you want to contact me anytime, I consider this school your school. Don't hesitate to come up. We have some meeting space. So if you guys want to meet on our campus, sometime, I welcome you up there, Commissioner Bynum.
Just, I'm fascinated with the, I guess it's the carriage house.
Yes,
Do you utilize that building or?
not right now. We don't. Again, I've been there 10 years and that really is not condemned. It simply is uninhabitable. It needs a lot of repair on the inside. And I mean, a lot of repair. We'd have to hollow it out. There's some fascinating equipment in there, some old, it was actually a residence for some time for the superintendent. So if you go up to the third floor or even the second floor, you'll see some very old vintage kitchen appliances and that are still left there, but it has not been habitable or usable for us for a long time. A lot of architecture firms are interested in helping us. Yeah, we need to go to the community and say, here's how we would like to use it. Here's how we think it could be valuable for us for the future. Entrepreneurship. We have a wonderful transition program where we're teaching, but they don't have a home, right? We're always kind of borrowing space for those kids. I'd love a local business to partner with. So let's train students, give them skills, either work for us or go back to their home community and work, right? I don't want kids just to come to our school and be there forever. I don't want them to go to one location. I want them to build skills and take those skills and use them in the place where they want to work. And so I think there's businesses who could help us with that. We're kind of, getting through all the construction we've had. If you go by our campus, you'll see now on State Avenue signs, a new elevator we put in our Brighton building, in our makerspace. You'll see some lighted logos on the outside. So we announce, who we are, what we do. And, we've got the playground, the track, we've got a new gym coming in. Once we get those things sorted out, it takes a long time to get those things rolling. Once that's done, I think we can focus the next thing on the carriage house. Because it is, it's where horses were stored initially, and they hauled coal. We still have tunnels on our campus, and we still have boilers on our campus. And so, we want to retain that. It's the last really link to our past. If you see some old photos we have on our walls, there's gentlemen in stovepipe hats and kids on the back of a carriage and two mules hauling them around. That's where they stored the horses. And you kind of feel that history when you go there, but we have to tie that to kids and the future. And that's the real trick is always connecting those two things. So we'll get to that and we'll need your help.
The carriage house is the second oldest building in Wyandotte County. The Brenner House is only one that's older. And the Wyandotte Nation donated that land in the 1800s to the state of Kansas.
They did. For our 150th, Jan English, who was the chief of the Wyandotte Nation of Kansas, state recognized tribe, came on our campus and gave it a blessing. It was powerful. They did a sage burning. They did some drumming. And you just felt, it kind of resonates. There's kind of a spirit there. And I love that history, but I think that the trick is always to honor that history, but move forward and say, we're gonna really break new ground and be as relevant today as we were back then, even more so. And so I think that's where we're going. And we want to be that, that vibrant anchor, a small part of a vibrant community. So that's really our goal. But thank you. Yeah, Chester, the history. I appreciate all the knowledge you bring with you. So that's going to be important. Other questions?
I believe that the carriage house housed the Children's Museum at one time.
We've had, Accessible Arts is still with us. They're a nonprofit that operates on our campus. They've been in that building. And I've only been there 10 years. So I'm always learning about the carriage, about the history of our campus. But, it was a park setting. If you go by our campus on State, you'll see a lot of trees. I've tried to say, hey, let's keep the trees moving here, a park-like setting. Keep that campus the way, in some ways, the way it used to be. We want it to be a very welcoming, a safe, welcoming, a vibrant space, and where people come in and say, well, I thought this was going to be an institution. I thought it was going to be a hospital. And they're shocked to say, oh, this is a beautiful place. I had no idea. I love that, shock and surprise, I guess you would say, when people come up, because they really have no idea until they get up there and see what it is. But yeah.
You received any assessment of how much it will cost to bring that to your vision?
We've only had some discussions with architecture firms. We had students at the architecture firm do a some renderings for us to do some research. They asked some questions. How would you like to use it? What would you like to see? And then they drew up a plan for us. Beautiful, gorgeous, but very expensive, of course. And I think, again, our nonprofit will help us when we turn our attention to it and then go to the community and say, it's not it's a state, this is state property. This is, this is owned by the state. As Chester said, Wyandotte Nation of Kansas gave that land, as I understand it, to the state for the purpose of educating children who are blind. And it's still doing that same thing. But we'd want the state to be involved and informed. We need everybody, and I think I know we can get there because nobody says no to us when our kids are up front, when they're saying this is what we need, who can say no, right? It's a beautiful thing when you have a purpose and a goal and your kids are selling that. So I think we'll get there and we'll need your help, but we're just not there yet. We're early stages. Other questions? Sorry to go over the time. I can talk forever.
No, it's great. We're gonna move it on along, and we're gonna have an update from our subcommittee on community connectedness that we launched this year. So every third month quarterly, we'll have updates from them. So I hope everybody hears something that you like and you join the subcommittee. So, anybody want to speak on that? If not, I can't put.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tamara Barnes. I'm co-chair of the Connectedness Committee. And my name is Cassandra. I'm the chair of the subcommittee. So to start off, we have been we have been gathering information about the neighborhood groups, going out to all of the presidents, asking them some questions about their mission, what they would like to see in the community and things of that nature. And we've been getting a really good outcome. So if you're a president in the room and we have not contacted you, please be looking for a call because we will be calling you. So we plan on doing some town hall meetings with the community to get that together with the neighborhood groups. So that way they can start getting some new faces and some help within the community and their neighborhood group. So that is the purpose of that first goal. Would you like to talk about the second one?
Yeah, and so once we kind of have a more established partnership with neighborhood associations, our second goal was something that we wanted something tangible to demonstrate to the neighborhood that we want to work with them, that we want to improve their residences. So our second goal is creating sidewalks. And so that's a much larger goal that would entail getting grants, working with neighborhood associations as far as like labor, getting funds for making the sidewalks. And our last goal, our third goal is language accessibility. So I don't know if you all follow, but in Kansas City, Missouri, they actually just passed a office for language accessibility. So they'll be hiring someone and then establishing a plan for the next 3 months, and then they'll be hiring 3 more additional people. And so we'll be looking towards them and what they've created. They did release a report that I sent out to the members of the subcommittee. But that gives us a good baseline of what that looks like. I know on the PCMO side, there is over 50 or 60 languages that are spoken, and I know it's kind of the same number on this side of the state line. It's not.
So that pretty much wraps up what we've been doing. I know we need to keep it short and sweet, but did you want to ask any questions or not?
If anybody has questions.
Yes.
So on the language accessibility, one thing that always seems to be missing is folks like me who only speak English. And obviously, there's college courses, apps and things like that available. Is there any training for the learning to speak Spanish for an English speaker?
So right now, no, we don't have any.
Holy moly.
I can't believe it.
No, but that's a good perspective for us to
Exactly.
have, and gives us something else to consider when we're talking about language accessibility.
Exactly.
So thank you.
Yes.
Can I get your contact information? Because sidewalks are a big thing for us.
Kids might never go across the street because they can't use the sidewalk on my side.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, And if anyone is interested in participating in any of the work that our community connected subcommittee is doing in our community, please feel free to reach out to our general livable neighborhoods mailbox or Kayla or I. We have cards in the front. And I think our information is online. Here it is. Yes. We're going to go ahead and proceed with department and organization updates, and we're going to start with KCK School District USB 500. Please limit your updates to 3 minutes. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Mine will be very, very brief. I just want to inform everyone that the school district will be hosting 3 bond information meetings. The first one will be at Central Middle School on Thursday, April 11th. Then at Schlegel High School, Monday, April the 22nd. And then the last one at J.C. Horman on Thursday, April the 25th. I will put this in the chat, and also a link to bond information. Information about the bond will be on our website, and I will put the link in the chat too. So if you all can please share with your neighbors and residents. There's a little bit of misinformation out there right now, and our goal is just to make sure that everyone is informed about the facts about the bond, so that our residents can make an informed decision when they go to vote on May the 7th. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Edwin. Next up, we have the Turner School District, USB 202.
Good morning. This is Lauren with the Turner School District. I don't have much this month. Just for next school year, we are going to be putting a little more efforts into student internship options out in our community. So if you have a business that would be able to take student interns, these would be current high school students that would leave during the school day. If you could just reach out to me and we'll be in contact. That's all I have.
Thanks, Lauren. Next up, we have KTK Fire Department. Chief Jopperman couldn't be here today, but he did have some information about open burn season that starts very, very soon. The PDF should be at the top of the chat. If anybody in the room wants some information about open burn, we do have flyers over on the table. Next up, we have KCK Police Department.
Hey, good morning. My name is Jeremy Russell. I'm the mission commander for West Patrol. Briefly, the only thing I've really got today is just a reminder that we have basically it's our 3rd annual peace walk that'll be taking place on April 20th, so coming up pretty quickly. So that's a Saturday. We'll be forming up at 5th and Washington Boulevard at about 10:45 in the morning, and then walking up north, basically to Parallel Parkway there along 5th Street. So got some flyers. I'll leave them up here at the front, but free lunch if you want to come. We'll have other organizations and groups and a bunch of stuff from our police department there. So it's a great opportunity. Obviously, the focus is encouraging peace and reducing violence in our city, which is always a huge thing that we're working at, but also a good opportunity to interact with the police department and other UG departments there as well. So I'll leave that up front. That's all I've got.
Wyandotte County Sheriff's Department.
All right, mine's a quick too. For everybody that doesn't know, I'm Sheriff's Office, Sheriff of the Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office. A couple of things. So our, I haven't talked about it in a while, but our tag enforcement unit is still active. So if you have a complaint, I'll give you a phone number real quick, 573-2861. When you get the receptionist, just ask for tag enforcement. They'll send you to a voicemail. You can leave a message. Make sure you give contact information, request to get back to you if you want to be contacted. Otherwise, you can just leave the complaint on the voicemail. And then we've got some events coming up also. I'll get the dates to you once I have the flyers. But we've been doing our free day at the pool. That's going to come up again in June. So the first one will be at Parkwood Pool. The sheriff's office covers the first couple hundred kids for those days. They get to swim for free. Police department is always gracious enough to come out. Fire department, some other UG departments come out. We provide lunch, free hot dogs. So watch for that. The second one this year we're going to do in Bonner, the Bonner Pool, and that'll be in August. So we'll get you the dates for those. And then we got a recruit class of 6 that graduates tonight. And so, oh yeah, so that's tonight. And then we also have the Battle of the Badges. And what's the date on that? 12. So something that we started last year with the fire department, us and the police department is the three agencies battle it out, if you will, and see who can give the most blood. It's a great cause. It's open to the community this year. And it's a friendly little competition. Obviously, the blood banks are always in short supply. It was my first time actually donating blood that way last year. And so I just told them, don't let me pass out. But it's a great cause. It's a great event. So if you have a chance, come out. It's a fire headquarters run to start 9 to 3. So a good blood.
They don't take my blood.
Oh,
Yeah, I lived in West Germany in the 80s. They were not touching blood because of mad cow or something. Oh, really?
Yes.
Because I try every time and they always tell me no.
Oh, no.
It's recent.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I've got O positives.
Oh, yes. I don't understand what TAG does.
Tag enforcement, it really is exactly what it sounds like. They go and respond to complaints of registration violations on vehicles.
Okay.
So mostly expired, but could be people that have moved here and haven't changed their tags. But generally it's going to be expired registrations and really expired registrations.
What was the number on that again?
573-2861. And I'll leave a couple cards with you, so you guys need me directly. The last thing I'll leave you with, if any of your community groups are having any events, any festivals, anything at all, and you want us to come out, we will come anywhere, anytime. And we'll bring some folks out. We'd love to come out and interact with your individual group. So please let me know. Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next up, we'll have.
There's a big blessing on it.
Next up, we'll have somebody from the mayor's office. Hi, Marcel. Oh, sorry, Jonathan.
That's all one that you have.
Sorry. Anybody from the mayor's office? No, okay, DA's office.
Good morning. I'll be very brief too. We continue our hiring process for attorneys and administrative personnel. So if you're interested, please take a look at the UG website and apply. Come on over and join us. We'd love to have you. And also if for the community, for the neighborhood groups, if you'd like us to come out and we can give you an office update, we do it all the time. You can reach out to me at 913-573-2849. That's 913-573-2849. And it's Jonathan Carter. That's who you'll be contacting. So we'd love to come on out. And a lot of your neighborhood groups, you know us already, and we're always ready to come on out whenever you'd like us to. That's what we got.
We just couldn't hear her, so maybe she could try again.
Irene, do you want to try again to see if your sound's working now? I hear something. Okay. Irene can leave anything that she needs in the chat or email us, and we'll get those out in the meeting minutes because I think she's having some technical difficulties. Next up, we'll have UG Strategic Communications. If anybody's here from communications. Crystal.
It's just that.
Oh, maybe we'll have to come back. Okay, UG Planning and Urban Design is up next. Go on once, go on twice. This always goes so quick when I do it, guys. Okay, Wyandotte County Public Health Department. Anybody from health? Yep. But we have put together a clinical services list of absolutely everything we do on the clinical side, as a brief description of the service, for possible qualifications, and then who to contact that, hours of operations for all those, that's available over on this table. For those online, if you're needing a copy, you can email me at HNLANG
@wycokck.org.
Your email. Yeah, I was, you're good. HML.
ANG
Okay.
That's all I got. Shelby. No.
I don't really have anything, just letting you all know that the 2024 to 2028 chip will be released hopefully by the end of April. And we'll bring out all of our chip booklets when we have this printed. Okay, just to circle back to the mayor's office, Irene just wanted to let us know that the mayor is recovering well and he'll return sometime in mid to late April, and we'll welcome him back. Okay. We're going to slide into community announcements. We have some extra time because I make everything so efficient. So if you would like to share a community announcement, come up to the front of the room. And we can get started. Or if you're online, please raise your hand and we'll circle back to you once everybody in the room has shared.
Shepherd Center will be doing its annual books and bric-a-brac sale on May the 4th and 5th, or no, 3rd and 4th, on Friday and Saturday. We'll be at Grace Lutheran Church at 3333 Wood. And everybody's invited to come shop. On Thursday, that would be the 2nd. You're invited to come work and help set up, so, and donate. So donate and shop. And I'm sorry, I forgot the flyers.
Good morning, my name is Don Ash, and I'm a trustee at Kansas City, Kansas Community College. You may know or may not know that this college is in its centennial year. The college opened first in 1923-24 school year, so we're in the centennial year here. John, just to highlight a couple of things, John already mentioned, the blight is gone down in the 600 block of State Avenue. The buildings are down, coming down. We're taking meticulously painful efforts with the church because we're going to preserve many things from the church that are going to be incorporated into the new KCKCC Education and Wellness Center that we'll be building there. So the construction has begun, if you will. We anticipate probably some kind of a soft opening in the fall of 25, but the official grand opening will probably be early in 2026. So just to let you know that's going on. Today is opening day for the Royals. It's also opening day for the Blue Devils. We will have our first baseball game today. We recently renovated the baseball stadium at the college, so there will be a ribbon cutting and dedication at 12:30. Followed by the first pitch about 1 o'clock, for the game. I think it's going to be a beautiful sunny day. So if you're not doing anything, we come on out. And there's lots of things going on at the college, but I'll leave it at that for today. Thank you. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Joanne Weddy with the American Red Cross. And April 12th, as you guys saw in a couple of presentations and hearing from the Sheriff's Department, April 12th is Battle of the Badges, and there's all kinds of things going on. We're also very proud to be working alongside our KCK Fire Department and some other partners on April 12th with another smoke alarm installation program. I think you got Livable Neighborhoods has been part of those conversations as well. It's in the Armourdale and Argentine area, I believe. And so great way to engage in the community and to get out on the street and really talk to our neighbors. I look at this as a great neighborhood connection opportunity, getting folks outside, talking to each other. And so we're looking to identify more neighborhoods as we continue moving. And just wanted to also say, we've been really excited with our Service Armed Forces program in the last couple of months. Our Service Armed Forces program manager has been able to connect with some folks with the county government. And we've actually been working on providing a resiliency workshop to veterans through the Veterans Court here in Wyandotte County. So, it's a program we don't talk about a lot, but it's a program we're working to grow. And I'm very excited and very proud of what our Service Armed Forces team has been doing for our veterans, regardless of where they are right now in their life status. So very excited and thank you much. Oh, and food has to leave out here. Food has to go.
Good morning, Hazel Turner, representing the KCK Women's Chamber Foundation. And just a reminder, our scholarship applications for non-traditional women students aged 24 years of age or older is due on Monday, April 1st. So there's still time to apply. Or if you are interested in participating with our small nonprofit and scoring applications, you can either contact myself or email kckwcfoundation@gmail.com.
One, Kensington will be having its first annual Easter egg hunt on the 30th at Kensington Park. So we will have hot dogs, chips, and also prizes for the person that picks the most eggs. Hope you can make it out there. That'll be on the 30th. No age limit, right? Well, no, we'll go for it. Okay.
Yes, I got one.
If you know anyone who needs their taxes done that makes 65,000 or less, we still have openings. They can call 211 for an appointment, or they can do walk-ins at Avenue of Life, Wednesday, 1 p.m. to 5, and then on Fridays, 11 to 2. But we're taking walk-ins, and we have had we're scheduling 20, but we've had 20, maybe 10 show up on each day, and it's free. If you know anybody who makes 65 or less, it's free. And if you call 211, they'll give you other locations that are also taking them.
I have a quick thing. I'm Rose with Strawberry Hill Neighborhood Association, and rather than telling you what we're doing, I'm up here to ask for help. We have a big problem in our neighborhood with loose dogs. So if anybody has any brilliant ideas about how to work with our neighbors to try and get that under control, I'd love to have your information. That's funny.
I talked to them at one of these meetings before.
I know. Yeah, and I love animal control. They're doing the best they can, but they can only do so much. So I'm talking about personal interaction with our neighbors.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really talking about animal control, because they do the most that they can, and it's just not, they can only do so much. So I need to figure out how we can address it ourselves. So I'm at, I'm sitting right here, just stop by. Yeah.
A few online folks.
Sorry, something's wrong with me. We're going to have Sharon Cook. She has a short announcement to make.
Hi, I just wanted to let everybody know that April 5th and 6th from 8 to noon, we're having dumpster days. So if you're cleaning out your garages, houses, whatever, we will be at the Old Indian Springs there at 47th and Orville. It's from 8 to 12. And household hazardous waste days will be starting April 20th. And those are every third Saturday from April through October, and those go from 8:30 to 1 at our household hazardous waste site. Any questions?
I don't think so. Thanks, Sharon.
Okay, go Royals.
We had an announcement from Mary Beth. It says the LIEAP program ends Friday, March 29th. All applications do need to be turned in by Friday. No late applications will be accepted, and she put the link in the chat for anybody interested. And we also had a question, Angela, how much are the scholarships for?
So up to $15,000 will be awarded, and for information. So there's a link to the scholarship in the last Livable Neighborhoods email newsletter, or you can search KCK Women's Chamber Foundation on Facebook, and there will be a link to it there on our Facebook page.
For those that didn't hear, up to $15,000, there's info already in the newsletter, but I'll update it with the link so you can go straight to the KCK Women's Chamber's website. And then lastly, it looks like we have Adrian from the budget department.
Hi, everyone. I'm Adriana Lemafar. I'm with the UG's budget office, and budget season is upon us again. And with that, we are doing our community outreach dot talks again this year. And so I think that strategic communications brought flyers with the dates and times and locations for all of our dot talks. We're having 5 across the community this year. But as well with that comes the budget simulator. So if I can real quick, I wanted to share my screen. Oh, it says host disabled participant screen sharing. But the budget simulator is a tool that allows you to play around with revenues and expenditures based on our operating budget and decide how you would build the budget for Kansas City, Kansas, and Wyandotte County, if you could, make those choices on your own. And so it really helps you see the trade-offs that we have to make when building the budget, and the things that come along with that. And so this year, we are starting off with a little bit of a surplus in the Kansas City, Kansas, and Wyandotte County budgets. And so you'll see that on the simulator this year. And that just means you have the opportunity to either lower taxes, should you please, or increase expenditures in certain areas. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, it looks like it's gonna let me share my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Now we can. Yeah, now we're good.
Yes, okay. So these are what the budget simulators look like. And if you are interested in sticking around at the end of the meeting and submitting your own budget simulator, please do so. We do have 2 of my fantastic coworkers in the room there today, Shanna and Gao. I think they're in the back right now. But they will help you complete this if you would like help completing your own budget simulator. But this is what it looks like for the Kansas City, Kansas side of the budget. And this is what it looks like for the Wyandotte County side of the budget. And both of these URLs are on the flyers there that should be there on the table or with Crystal. So, yeah.
Thanks, Adrian. As she said, if you would like to stay and complete a budget simulator thing, please feel free. There's going to be some time after the meeting to do that. Thank you all that came today to our March meeting. We hope to see you next month in April. And the meeting is adjourned. Take some refreshments. Thank y'all.